now proudly presented on SNME. That's Sunday night's main event, Patreon and free feed. Hey guys, what's going on? It's your host, your boy George Mackay, back here on another MLW Rewind, and it is our Thanksgiving Day edition. To all our American fans, happy Thanksgiving. To all our Canadian fans, Thanksgiving happened a month and a half ago. Sorry, it's not our Thanksgiving, it's theirs. But as always, I'm your host, your boy George Mackay, and this is the one and only
Uncle Bobby B, baby.
Yes, and as he does his perfect Harry from Home Alone impression, digging on that hat, by the way.
Fisherman.
No, I know, but you look like Harry from Home Alone. Minus, Harry didn't have a beard. If you had a gold tooth, though.
I guess better Harry than Marv.
No, you couldn't be Marv. You got the body type for Marv, but you don't have the...
No, Marv is... Daniel Stern is all tall and lanky.
That's what I mean. You're not tall and lanky, but you're lanky-ish.
I'm probably more Pesci than anything.
Fair enough. Yeah, attitude-wise, yes, you're 100% Pesci. Yes. Pesci from Casino Pesci.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Is this your pen? You like this pen? All right, guys. Before we get into our rewind today of MLW's Fusion on Thanksgiving, we want to give a big shout out to our sponsor for this one episode. And our sponsor is right above us. That's right, guys. Thanks to the one and only Jacob Fatu. We are honorary Usos and honorary MLWs for one night. MLW reached out. They are sponsoring this episode. Thank you guys so much for the opportunity. We hope to not let you down. And we hope for it to be many, many more. And as well, our sponsors would like us to do one thing. Promote what their charity is for this Christmas. It's St. Jude's Children's Hospital. Want to ask everyone out there to donate what they can and help the children in need of medical support during the holidays. The link for St. Jude's will be in the bio of this video and also on every social media post that we do for this video. So please share what you can. Christmas is the season of giving. And really, really want to make sure that these kids have the support they need, especially during the holidays.
And if you don't know, St. Jude's Children's Research Hospital, they don't charge, from what I understand. So in the States where medical care is not socialized like it is up here in Canada, and you have to pay for things, it's a blessing to be able to give children health care at no cost. So we encourage you to follow the link in the description, make a donation. We're making a donation. And like George said, we appreciate MLW giving this sponsorship and this opportunity. And we encourage you again to support St. Jude's Children's Research Hospital.
Absolutely, guys. And again, the link will be in the description of this video. And we're going to shout out the sponsorship again, obviously, at the end of the video. So please, like, share, donate. And thank you again, MLW, for the opportunity. And now, without further ado, it's rewind time. The episode starts off with a recap of Fightland, showing the highlights from each and every match and how it all went down. And if you watched Fightland, if you watched our Fightland Fallout, you know that Alex Hammerstone is now the newest member of the World Titan Federation. Huge shock. And we hear from the WTF's newest acquisition right off the hop. And he says people want to know why he aired his grievances out on social media. They want to know why he aired out his dirty laundry. And he says, you know what? He did because he had issues with his contract status. And he wanted to address them. And as soon as he aired his grievances out publicly, he says MLW CEO Court Bauer stopped answering the phone. But he says one man did answer the phone. And that man was MSL. That's right. He was the voice of reason when there was no reason to be heard. And he listened to him. And now that he's listening to MSL, good things are happening. So you really want to see what Alex Hammerstone is going to do next? Do you want to see? Just going to have to wait and see. And that was his promo. And this promo was fire. Great way to kick off an episode. We loved it. I loved it. I'm not going to speak for Rob, but I loved it. I enjoyed it. It had me hyped. And I like seeing Hammer with an edge. Hammer's been a babyface for so long. Even when he was in Dynasty and he was kind of walking that line, he was still kind of more babyface than he was heel, like his former best friend and partner, Richard Holiday, was. Rob, what did you think about the Hammerstone promo to kick off Thanksgiving Day on Fusion?
We started talking about it. I walked through the door of your house, and within a minute and a half, we were talking about this Hammerstone promo that opened the show. It was raw. It sounded totally off the cuff. It didn't sound like he sat there and rehearsed it. It was solid. It was all emotion. I felt it. It had the conviction. We've got heel Hammer now. I like heel Hammer right off the hop. I'm liking just the attitude that he's bringing to it, and I think the way that Hammer wrestles suits him being a heel a little more because he's just so devastating, right? Like, when you're so devastating and you're a nice guy, it's not the same as when you're mad and you're out there just looking to punish people and you don't care whether the fans support you or not because you got the WTF and Mr. Saint Laurent behind you
and those checks that will consistently clear.
So this was a solid promo from Hammer. Great way to open the show.
Absolutely. And we also find out that our main event for tonight is going to be tag team action. It's going to be the Bomaye Fight Club. That's right. Alex Kane, the world champ, and Mr. Thomas go on one-on-one with WTF. Filthy Tom Lawlor.
2-on-2.
Sorry, 2-on-2. Fair enough. Going 2-on-2 with Filthy Tom Lawlor and the agent, Matt Cardona. And that's going to happen at the end of the show. And after Mance Warner unfortunately lost at Fightland, he is going to join us tonight to say goodbye. But before that, we got to get into some wrestling because that's what MLW is. It is Major League Wrestling. First match on the card, TJ Crawford versus Nolo Kitano. Crawford comes out with a free Deppen sign. That's right. He is protesting the suspension of Tony Deppen, who really wouldn't have had this long suspension had he paid the fine for the attack on Kevin Blackwood, but that didn't make it on the sign. No, just free Deppen. This match was crazy. And I mean, the match itself was good, but with all the interferences that happened, it was absolutely crazy. First interference we get is a masked assailant. He comes out, tries to get in the ring, but Nolo deals with him quite convincingly. Then near the end of the match, after Nolo had built up some serious momentum, things were cooking. One of the moves I loved from Nolo was when he had, or sorry, should I say, one of the moves I love from Crawford, he had Nolo hanging in between the top rope and the middle rope, kind of just swaying there. And he kind of did almost like a backstabber, but with a knee to the face. So it was like a front stabber, but to the face. I thought that was pretty impressive. But Kitano, man, that kid can fly. Shout out to him. Going off the top rope, getting caught by Crawford, changing direction in midair to hit a Hurricane Rana out of nowhere. Crazy. Nolo Kitano needs to be on TV a lot more than he's getting. The kid has momentum. And if you want to know more about Nolo, well, you can check the Straight Talk archives because your boy sat down with him and it was a great conversation. Talked a lot about his wrestling history and Wu-Tang.
There you go.
And it's two great conversations, really. But as momentum was in Kitano's favor, Griffin McCoy shows his face with his fantastic Rolex and slick gold chain. And he hits Kitano from behind without even seeing it coming. Unfortunately, Kitano could not see it. And Crawford hits the silver bullet for the 1, the 2, the 3. And at the end of that, Griffin McCoy and Crawford hug. And the masked assailant returns, who we all obviously know is Tony Deppen. Now, Matt Stryker says it isn't. It's not proof. It's slanderous that Joe Dombrowski would even think that. But we're with you, Joe. We know it's Tony Deppen. By height, by size, by facial features in this mask that was pulled very tight, that's Tony Deppen. Okay, it's Tony Deppen under this mask.
I don't know that.
Yes, you do.
You don't know.
Yes, you do.
You're speculating.
It was this. Okay, now I'm speculating. What are you, Stryker and I'm Dombrowski here? I'm not speculating. It's fact. It was the same outfit. Well, thank you to me for comparing me to one of the best play-by-play guys there is out there. So thank you for that. But listen, it was the same outfit that Deppen wore when he attacked Blackwood. Same everything.
Oh, because nobody could be clever enough to wear all black.
You know what? You're very
nobody else would think to wear all black.
Listen, I'm siding with Joe Dombrowski. That is Tony Deppen. I can even play this video back. There's a part when I said that you went like this. You did. You went like that because you knew it's true. There it is, right there. There it is, right there.
No, I'm not sold that it's Tony Deppen.
Sure. All right. You and your fisherman hats can go work on the docks later tonight. Okay. All right.
You get good money working on the docks.
I know you do. And everything I've learned from the Mafia video games, the Mafia takes a lot of good money from me too. All right, guys. Next thing on tonight's show, we get a recap of that insane Lucha Rules tag match that we had at Fightland, and all eyes by the end of it were on Mask of Dorado 2.0, 100%. And you know what? He cut a promo on Rocky Romero saying that he beat him in Mexico. Now he beat him here in the United States, and he was denied his title shot in Mexico by CMLL, but now he wants a title shot here.
He wants both.
He wants both. He wants one shot at one shot. So we're gonna find out later on the show if that's accepted. But he wants Rocky's CMLL title, and he wants that middleweight title
Going right after champ.
right after champ, man. And you know what? I'll say this: Mask of Dorado cut the promo entirely in Spanish, but I love the intensity that I was feeling from it. The subtitles were there, so I was able to kind of understand what he was saying. But I loved his intensity, and I think that he's right, because that match, as much as we all praised Ichiban in that match, Mask of Dorado did score the pin. He did score the pin. So honestly and truly, I think he's due for a title shot. What do you think? What do you got?
I mean, he put the challenge out there,
Mhm.
so it's really up to Rocky now
Mhm.
to accept the challenge or not. And I
Well, it
mean,
would be up to Selena De La Renta as well.
Selena, but like if I'm Selena or Rocky, I'm saying no. Why? I'm not giving you a shot. What have you done to deserve a shot? No,
He beat Rocky twice.
I don't care.
He beat him pretty much in both places that he holds titles.
It's up to Rocky now. If I was Rocky, I would say no, especially if the guy beat me twice. I'd be like, probably not a good idea. I would wait for.
Well, if you have any kind of integrity as a fighting champion, you do say yes.
A fighting champion doesn't always retain his title, so it's better to be a.
But I have more respect for the fighting champion that loses title than the champion that hides behind his promoter and refuses to accept a challenge.
Well, it's called a level of intelligence and picking your battles, discretion, we call it.
Right. So okay, what you're saying is that Rocky Romero's scared because he knows he's going to lose the title.
You are putting words.
Oh, first I was being slanderous. Now I'm twisting your words into your okay. All right, let's move on past that. Tonight we are going to get a Thanksgiving Day trust. That's right. I'll say it again. A Thanksgiving Day trust. As Becca and Love Doug will finally go on their first date. This has been weeks and months coming of, Love Doug courting Becca. And now, Rob, we're going to get the payoff. He's finally getting that date. Is he though? We'll find out a little bit later on. We got an MSL promo as he's in the World Titan Federation headquarters, and he's got a what do you call those things at buffets? The buffet tray?
What do you call those things at buffets?
Is it a buffet tray?
Yeah, sure. You call it a buffet tray.
He's got the buffet tray behind him, which is obviously filled with Thanksgiving Day goodies. I mean, it's not open, but it's there. So, he was chowing down on some Thanksgiving Day goodies. And you know what? He wants to wish everyone a happy Thanksgiving. And in 2 weeks, he wants everyone to know what they already know, which is exactly what's going to happen. Matt Cardona is going to beat Alex Kane for that World Heavyweight Championship. And then MLW and its wrestling fans will become extinct. And everyone will transition into the WTF and the WTF universe and bring sports entertainment into the future. A future where they're going to wear tuxes at ringside like the glory days. And at the end of it all, the WTF will be the only thing standing. He also addresses tonight's main event, saying that the WTF will beat those Bomaye bums. Strong words from the WTF promoter. Rob, what do you think about this promo before I get into my opinion about this promo? Because I think my opinion will affect, or my opinion may change, depend on your opinion.
First of all, we need velour tuxedos. That's a brilliant idea.
Yeah. It's like wearing a garbage bag. You're going to sweat.
You're like wearing a garbage bag.
That is horribly rude. And on Thanksgiving Day, when this is a day for family and friends to come together.
Thanksgiving for us.
Well, it's Thanksgiving for a lot of our listeners and followers.
Yes, and we wish them a happy Turkey Day.
Okay, anyways, get to your promo. Fine. Velour tuxedos.
Get to my promo? Oh, I'm cutting promo.
Get to your promo opinion, you fucker.
I know MLW fills a lot of stuff in batches, and we've been seeing so much of MSL. They must have just had him for like 2 hours just cutting promos.
But I will say this though, they do keep changing what's on the desk and what's around the desk. So it always makes everything look fresh and new.
No, but I enjoy Mr. Saint Laurent. He's got a certain quality about him. And
I thought you were going to really go over the top and say je ne sais quoi.
No. I don't speak French. I should. We live in, bilingual country.
All right.
I'm trying to. Well, you stop interrupting me. Jesus. He's got a certain quality that it's I don't know. He's almost like he's like the P.T. Barnum of pro wrestling. And I don't know how else to put it. He's great though, and I'm loving this WTF angle. I want to see how far it's going to go because it could.
I don't see it stopping anytime soon. The train is fully in motion.
Will we start seeing I know the one shot is MSL's, but we could see an episode of Fusion that's entirely WTF branded. It
We
could be interesting.
Could be. 2024 is around the corner. We never know what may hold, right?
And I mean, he's built himself. I'm surprised, frankly, that the wider pro wrestling world isn't on this more of this faction that's being built here and the quality of stars within it.
Well, let's run it down right there. I mean, you got Davey Boy Smith
Recovering,
but still there.
still there.
You got Snitsky, still there. You've got Filthy Tom Lawlor. You've got the agent Matt Cardona. You got Alex Hammerstone. You got Steph DeLander. And you've got that other guy who we don't know his name yet. The guy who looks like Hammerstone from Wish.
Yeah, and that's just to start. So, the calling was dominating for a while, but given their recent turbulence.
Well, we'll find out about that in a few minutes, actually. But
I'd say that the WTF is the dominant. I don't even know if you want to call them a faction. They are the dominant entity.
I was on the main show with Boris, one of our SNME counterparts there. Shout out to Boris. He does great work. Obviously, if you're listening to us on SNME, you already know that. But I was on the show and he asked me kind of my opinions. And I told him that this reminds me of NWO circa 96, 97 when they first started. That invasion side of things. I mean, everyone loves a good invasion angle. These are Boris's words, so I'm quoting Boris. Everyone loves a good invasion angle, but this is what this reminds me of. How quickly NWO rose to power by some of those big acquisitions. Like you look at those first 5 or 6 names that they had once the original 3 were related. They had some big names come right off the hop, man.
Absolutely.
So this really could be that, what we're seeing now, just revamped and with way more money and power behind it. Because we don't know what St. Laurent stole from Microman. So there's a lot of money there, 150%.
Some hot dogs, apparently.
A lot of, we'll get to that a little bit later as well. We get word that there was a situation going on backstage. And as the cameraman arrives, it is Promocios Dorado. And they are attacking Ichiban. It's a 3-on-1 assault. Janai Kai, Rocky Romero, and Rodriguez. What's it? Ricardo Rodriguez? Jesus Rodriguez. Thank you. Jesus Rodriguez. They are just beating Ichiban down. They hold him up. Selena walks over and says, "This is what you get for interrupting me. I told you not to interrupt me." Then she gives him 5 fingers to the face, looks at the camera, and calls him a bitch. Yeah. Selena ain't playing, and Ichiban now has been kind of removed from the situation for the most part, but obviously they have to still answer Mascarados 2.0's challenge to Rocky, which we'll find out that answer a little bit later on the show. We also get a promo from the Calling, or Ricky Shane Page's version of the Calling, saying that, hey, we all make mistakes when we're young, and we pay for them when we're older. And as he's saying that, there are clips of the assault on Akira after the Fightland match. And he says the hammer is about to drop. And he laughs as Cannonball sits behind him with a sickle. And this obviously is going to lead to Akira versus Ricky for that openweight title. When? We don't know. Where? We don't know. But we hope soon. It may not be a one-shot, but it definitely could be after one shot for sure. Or who knows? It could be on a Fusion, because right now, the main event that they're giving us right now on a Fusion is incredible. That's all I got to say. Yeah. This is a pay-per-view main event, and we're getting this tag team match on a Fusion. So what does that tell you about the caliber of matches that MLW can put together? The next match on the card is featherweight action. We got the Notorious Mimi. She's going up against the undefeated Tiara James. It was a good match. Honestly, Tiara showed me something. She continues to show me something with every match and every win. And I say that because she won this in pretty convincing fashion. Yeah, Mimi had her moments, but I really did love that finisher, which I don't think she's named, but she kind of had her in what you would consider a neck breaker and then inverted her almost into a DDT faceplant.
Yeah.
It was cool though, but just changing the perception of your opponent's eye line and causing that little, disturbia, if you will, really convincing. And I liked it. And the fans are still kind of on the fence about Tiara because they don't know what to make of her, but she's strong. She's strong, and she's improving, honestly, for me, with every match. At the end of this match, Sam Laterna catches up with her at the top of the ramp, and she's all hyped up, saying, she wants to thank MLW. This has been a breakout year. She wants to thank the MLW fans and everyone that continues to support her, and she feels like she's ready for a title shot. And Sam Laterna agrees and says, we could be looking at a future featherweight champion. So Janai Kai, she is the featherweight champ for now, but this featherweight division, a division that in the beginning stages was trying to feel itself out, really firing on all cylinders right now, and they are stacking the deck firmly against the champ. Think about who you got in this division. You got Becca, okay? You got Delmy Exo. You got Tiara James. You got Mimi, who I hope to see more of. We've got a lot of promising talent. Plus, we have the international stars like Miyu Yama. Why do you always laugh? I try.
I laugh because you try.
Okay. Well, don't be an asshole. How do you say her name?
Oh, I forgot. I have to look it up now.
Oh,
Miyu
well.
Yamashita, I think.
Miyu Yamashita. And we also got Maki Ito. So, I mean, they are not part of the division, but they are, guests that come in from time to time for that featherweight division. So, honestly and truly, I could see TR James definitely getting a title shot in the future. What did you think of this match?
Match was good. I liked that they let Mimi get some stuff in. They talked a little bit about her 2 years at the Monster Factory.
4.
4?
Yes, 4 years at the Monster Factory.
I thought it was 2 at the Monster Factory.
Oh, so when you correct me, I have to deal with it.
No,
I'm
saying
6-year pro.
Okay.
4 years at the Monster Factory, 2 years kind of just really, getting her legs underneath her, if you will. But Stryker did say 4 years at the Monster Factory.
Okay, whatever. 4 years at the Monster Factory. She looked pretty good in there, and I like that. Like I said, they let her get some stuff in, get a little bit of offense in. Tiara James looking solid. She's athletic. She's got charisma. I think she's still finding her feet a little bit in terms of her persona. Like, she's top tier Tiara James, which is great, but she's got to find that individuality that just sets her apart from everybody else. But she's got tons of upside. And I love that MLW's investing. We're seeing all this young talent: Brett Ryan Goslin, Tiara James, Notorious Mimi,
McCoy,
thank
Crawford.
you. Right? This is great. Like, you can say what you want, but they're investing in young talent, bringing in people.
Nolo Kitano, yeah.
The next stars.
Ichiban, yeah. These are, and MLW is great about picking up the next stars. I mean, a lot of the people that are the top people in the game right now got their legs underneath them in MLW. Three letters, MJF. That's all I gotta say. We get a recap of the love affair that is Love Doug and Becca. We get a whole sorted kind of array of all the gifts that he gave her, all the times she ignored him, all the times she dissed him, all the times she literally and figuratively slammed the door in his face. And this is all leading up to their big date later on tonight. Now, earlier today, freelance cameras caught up with St. Laurent as he's getting out of his vehicle. Not sure if it's going into the Titan Federation headquarters or if it's coming to the arena. They didn't specify, but did specify that it was freelance cameras. And he was a little bit upset because he was on a phone call getting out of his car. He didn't want to give TMZ a soundbite, but when the cameraman said it was freelance, he said, okay, I'll give you a soundbite. And the cameraman asked him, Hammerstone's contract, did you have anything to do with, say, tampering with it? And St. Laurent right away shuts that down. He says, are you accusing me of a nefarious act? Because that is slanderous. That is defamation of character. And he starts going into all this stuff. And then he says, Hammerstone hit the free agency market. He was in Guatemala when it happened. Phone calls were made. And of course, he's going to sign the top free agent in pro wrestling. Why wouldn't he? And now that just makes WTF that much bigger and that much stronger. And you just got to wait and see. You just got to wait and see as he walks away, actually storms away from the freelance cameraman. I guess it was in the arena because shortly after that, we see him in the back and he's on the phone again and he's eating a hot dog that obviously was purchased from a convenience store, 150%. And he's talking about how they got to get the social media numbers up and buy the bots. I think he said particularly in Malaysia, because the ones in Lithuania are tampered. And at that point,
it's
good advice, absolutely good advice. Manders is coming out of the MLW doctor's office, and he stops him and he says, there's a lot of upside. I can see you, becoming part of WTF. You're a strong addition. To which point Manders hands him what we can only assume to be a 3/4 empty or 1/4 full beer. There wasn't much left in that can, but he tells him to hold the beer, says he's not a handshake and a hot dog kind of guy, and tells St. Laurent he'll see him down the line. St. Laurent's pretty happy with this because it's not a yes and it's not a no. It's just left in limbo. But what do you think about St. Laurent kind of now going after Manders, now knowing that he's removed Mance Warner from the SGC, at least in MLW?
It's curious.
It is curious.
I find not because nothing wrong with Manders. He's a tremendous competitor, and if I was running a faction, I'd go after him too. But it's just I don't know, Mr. St. Laurent. His mind is working, and he might have something going on. I don't know what's going on there. I don't know. Given how close SGC was with Microman, and the way that ended up.
Well, and also the way that Mance got screwed at Fightland. by WTF. So it was interesting that he would pursue Manders, but with Matt Justice not there and Mance Warner not there, it is curious as to why he would pick that member of SGC and to get him in that kind of an alone situation.
Well, split up the tag titles too, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Or it could be just the whole kind of underhanded thing. Even when MSL doesn't have a plan, he somehow has a plan.
Mm-hmm.
So we just have to see how the dots connect, if you will. One Shot Central, Control Center, if you will, coming up right now. It's one night only that MSL calls the shots completely. Everything on this pay-per-view will be up to his discretion. We've already got a few bangers put together for this match. So we already know about Alex Kane versus Matt Cardona. Kane will have Thomas in his corner. Cardona will have Steph DeLander in her corner. In his corner, sorry, and that's for the heavyweight championship. We also know that there'll be very first MLW champion. I'm not even going to attempt.
Satoshi Kojima.
Satoshi Kojima, thank you, is going up against the filthy one, Tom Lawlor. And Janai Kai, she will defend her featherweight championship against Maki Ito. And the Princess of Princess title from TJWP will be on the line as Miyu Yamashito. I think I did pretty good on that one. Versus Delmi Exo. And Rocky Romero will put his middleweight title at least on the line against Mask of Dorado 2.0. So that's exciting. It is weird, though, because we do see Selena and Rocky discussing it right before the match is announced. And he says he'll put both titles on his line. But as the graphic shows in the episode, right now it only confirmed that the middleweight title will be on the line. I'm sure the other title will probably be on the line as well, but it's not official that I could say. Rocky agreed to it. Dorado 2.0 asked for both titles, but the graphic only says the middleweight championship. So maybe they haven't got clearance from CMLL to authorize a dual championship fight. But regardless, it's still going to be a banger. And this is the card already. This is the card already. And I'm sure in the 2 weeks leading up to One Shot, there will be at least one or two more matches announced. But this is the card already.
Yeah.
That's how stacked this card is. Some of these matches are dream matches. Some of these matches are matches that, again, if you don't have Fight Plus, I stress to you, I'm not sure what you're doing as a pro wrestling fan.
Or a person.
Or a
what
person.
Are you doing in your life?
Yeah, $7.99 a month. Okay. Less than a cost of 3 coffees is the monthly subscription for this streaming service. And you get all the MLW pay-per-views included. Part of it. You don't pay extra for it. It's part of it. Plus the hours of content that come with it. The library is huge. So again, I don't know what you might want to revamp your life choices, speak to whatever God you choose to believe in, and try to figure out why you haven't purchased this subscription. Okay. That's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say.
And I just want to circle back to Satoshi Kojima. We got to see him, and when I say we, I mean like Western fans got to see him another promotion. He had some big spots. He's, Bread Club. If you don't know, look it up. Like, he's hilarious. The man loves bread, and I can't say I blame him. I mean, who doesn't love bread?
I love bread.
But tremendous wrestler. He's had a great career. Pro Wrestling Noah, look it up. Noah's one of those things where every time I see Noah, I'm like, I like this. I gotta watch more of this, and I never do. I really gotta do. But what a thing to have Kojima come back. He's 53 years old, the OG champion. It's gonna be amazing. Excuse me.
All right, next thing on the card, Kane. Alex Kane hits us with what I believe to be promo of the night. Minutes before walking through the curtain for this main event, he cuts this promo. Sam catches up with him, and he's on fire. Okay, he's been waiting 1 month to catch that melatonin deficient ho. I was building. Yeah, and that filthy ho. Okay, he's been waiting to catch them. And Fat Joe, aka MSL,
scared the shit out of me.
This was great.
You're yelling more than he did.
He's the worst hoe of them all. He's gonna, and these guys, listen, they put boots on Thomas, and they're gonna get checked for that. That will not go unchecked. Okay, he's gonna toss them pillar to post and coast to coast, and that's on Bomaye.
Yeah, that was an
fire fucking promo.
That was a promo straight out of like 1987. Like, that was, I'm screaming into the mic, I'm pissed off, I'm coming for you.
Intensity turned all the way up.
Yeah, that's like if you're looking for how to cut a good promo, there's a great example right there.
100% promo of the night, in my opinion. I'm not sure what your opinion is, but I love this, everything about this promo. Now it is the time for the date. That's Love Doug is mere seconds away from his date. And as he goes to Becca's dressing room, he opens the door. She's not there. But Brett Ryan Gosselin is. And he says, well, who are you? And he confesses that he is Becca's boyfriend before he beats the shit out of Love Doug with a crowbar to the point where he gets a little bit of blood on his hands, literally. Okay. Beats him profusely. We don't really get to see the aftermath that is Love Doug because who wants to see that? It's probably definitely going to be some serious stitches. But yeah. So I'm assuming that the date is off. This was all a ploy. This was a setup. Becca and Gosling had this all planned from the get-go.
But did they? Or is Gosling maybe
trying to get in Love Doug's head?
Or maybe is he just as delusional as people thought Doug was? Maybe he's like, I'm Becca's boyfriend, but he's really not. He just thinks he is.
So what you're saying, Love Doug is like the soft, sensitive stalker?
He's being outstalked.
Gosling is like the angry stalker?
He's being outstalked.
Holy shit, he's being outstalked.
I don't know, that's just...
I didn't think of it that way.
You ever seen Becca and Gosling in the same place?
No.
No.
But, I mean, there was a couple times where she would only open the door for Doug, like a quarter of the way, so we don't know who else was in that dressing room.
That's because, you know, nobody needs to see what her dressing room looks like. Privacy.
No, there's blood on the walls in her dressing room.
I don't know what's on the walls.
Well, there's definitely blood on the walls after that assault.
Well, after that, yeah.
That's what... Oh, my God. All right. Anyways, Manders, he's outside the U-Haul with Mance Warner. They're having their last beer. Manders says, this sucks. Mance tells him to calm down, baby. Calm down. It's bullshit. The WTF bozos, Cardona, MSL, and Steph, they tricked him. They fucked him up, but it's all good because SGC's got the gold. And he was looking forward to Freebird rules. He was.
Yeah.
But it can't happen now. Can't happen now.
I love how he was like it was almost like a coach giving a halftime. You can do this without me. You don't need me. You showed you can do this on your own. Like I was dying.
Absolutely. He goes on to tell Manders it's all good. Rob steamrolled ahead a little bit. You showed what you can do. You guys got the gold. It's all good. And then he looks at the camera and he says, MLW. Not going to cry. He knows what he signed up for, and he just got to live with it, and he's out. And at that point, they hug, and they part ways. As you can hear Mance off camera saying, that's the last beer. But it was a sad moment. Oh, wait, I did actually forget to mention one thing because Rob steamrolled ahead. He got me off his thing. He knows a good brother. A good brother. Number 3. Says he likes to drink. You guys will get along great. So we may get a unconventional addition to the SGC in the coming weeks.
Wow.
Good brother number 3 may or may not be possibly making an appearance. They didn't say it was going to be forever, just making an appearance. But right now, SGC does have the gold, but they do not have their, I guess, fearless leader, if you will.
Well, I mean, good brother number 3, he's kind of built very similar to Mance, kind of a
very much so
similar taste for beer, similar style. So, you know, if Mance is gone, but good brother 3 comes in, I mean, I can deal with that.
Absolutely. And we can't also forget that Jimmy Lloyd is also kind of in there. I know he's not a member of SGC, but he's kind of
connected guy. He's not
connected. He's not made, but he's
friend
connected.
of yours, friend of mine.
Fair enough. All right, it's main event time, guys. MSL comes out. He introduces his champions. Bomaye Fight Club comes out. They're firing on all cylinders right out the gate. And Alex Kane gives them all this work. He was handling his business, transitioning from suplexes from Lawlor. Cardona gets in the ring, Cardona, then Lawlor gets the ring, transitions fluently between suplexes on both guys. Then, unfortunately, suffers some kind of a lower abdomen injury, either a lower back or lower ribcage injury. I'm not really sure. Rolled out of the ring, screaming in pain, could barely hold up his own body weight as he was taken back. This became a handicap situation, a 2-on-1 situation. Mr. Thomas was kind of left there alone while Alex Kane was tended to in the back by the MLW doctors. Thomas held his own, though. I will say that. He held his own. He was still getting his butt whooped, but he held his own. And at that point, Alex Kane comes back. He comes back to the ring to help Mr. Thomas, and he is firing on all cylinders. A couple corner bumps. He's throwing suplex around, but then he rolls out of the ring again. He's in pain. And what does Filthy Tom Lawlor do? He hits Alex Kane right on the back with a chair. And at that point, Matt Cardona hits radio silence on Mr. Thomas for the 1, 2, 3, and it is over. And as MLW Thanksgiving special goes off the air. We see Cardona and Lawlor high above the top rope, hands in the air, as Kane and Thomas are taken to the back for some serious medical attention. And you know that Kane came out wrapped up on that lower abdomen area, so you know that was against doctor's orders, as referees were trying to stop him, but he wasn't going to do. And he was fired up though, man. Adrenaline hit him, so I guess he was ignoring the pain or couldn't feel the pain at that point. It was all heart from Alex Kane. I appreciate him, but I just don't know what long-term effects he may have on going back out there for those few more bumps that he took.
I didn't think he was that hurt. You know why?
Why is that?
He didn't look angry. Here, this is the way I think. If I'm Alex Kane right now, and I'm literally at the top of my game, as evidenced by not only the pay-per-view, but this match, which was Alex Kane doing Alex Kane things, okay? And when people can say that about you, this is you doing you, that means you've done something good. So, Kane doing Kane things. If I was at the top of my game, world champion, nobody can touch me, and I got injured in that match, I wouldn't have been outside screaming in pain. I would have been furious as a human being. And I didn't see that fury on his face. And I'm like, I don't think he's hurt that bad. So we're going to see what happens with that injury. I expect it's going to become a major focal point for whoever he's...
The next 2 weeks leading into One Shot, this will be what WTF attacks leading up to this match, because right now, Kane, whether you think it's a subtle injury or it's a major injury, he's still hurt in some way, shape, or form. So he's already not at 100%. And you know that Cardona, ever being the opportunist, he's going to want to take advantage of that.
I'll tell you, just in general, MLW's booking lately has been phenomenal. I don't know if it's...
Oh, we say that all the time. Their booking's always pretty solid, man.
Like,
it's always pretty solid.
Especially the last few months have been really, really solid. Just like great booking. And I want to touch again on MLW sponsoring us. And of course, we're going to remind you again, St. Jude's Children's Research Hospital. Please go in there and make a donation. It would be much appreciated, as we appreciate MLW for sponsoring this episode. We appreciate all the stars of MLW who've taken time to talk to us, whether it's on the show, at a show. You've all been amazing. We've talked to at least probably half the roster at this point.
Yeah, I mean, when you're at a local indie show here in Canada and you hear Mance Warner look at you and say, "Hey, man, I know you. I recognize you. I like you guys." Alex Kane has given us phenomenal amounts of time. A personal endorsement from Jacob Fatu. Alex Hammerstone giving us follows, resharing some of her stuff. Richard Holiday back in the day giving us time. Myron Reed back in the day giving us time. Like, this roster has been so welcoming to us, and now to have MLW recognize what we're doing to give us this sponsorship for this episode, and we hope it leads to more. But if it doesn't, hey man, this is phenomenal. And again, St. Jude's Children's Hospital, link in the bio. Donate what you can. $5, $10, $1, doesn't matter. Donate what you can. Help those kids get some, medical support during these holidays that are coming up. And again, happy Thanksgiving as we streamline onto One Shot. MLW, thank you. The MLW roster, thank you. From Alex Kane to Jacob Fatu to the agent Matt Cardona to the ever filthy one to MSL and his weird foot fetish with our other friend Michelle. All of that and more. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Don't make that face. You know about the Twitter battle that they had. Anyways, guys, peace, love, and wrestling. Yes, you do. You absolutely do. Peace, love, and wrestling. We'll see you guys next week. And MLW, thank you for this opportunity. We appreciate you. Have a good night, guys.
Adios.